Welcome to the Wavelength. Hello. This is the Wavelength podcast by Primordial, where we discuss all things healing with sound. I'm TRENETI. I am the lead composing engineer and founder of Primordial. And here I have my beloved CHAUNCEY, who is the Primordial mixologist and sound healer and editor, and we do all the things. Shout out to the rest of our crew. Shout out to Isaac Miller, my business partner, our tech side, making everything look super sexy. And shout out to the rest of the Primordial family. And yeah, this is the first episode of the Wavelength. So we're going to be setting the tone, kind of letting you know what you can expect from episode to episode, and a little bit, this is a foundation.
Welcome.
Episode. Welcome. Yeah.
We're so glad you're all here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
So where should we start?
We should start with Primordial. What is Primordial?
Yeah, right? Like, some of y'all are probably like, yeah, like, what
what is this?
Where am I? What's going on? That's Onyx, too. If you see a little white cat roaming around, his name is Onyx. But yes, Primordial is a music therapy software that I had the vision to create this. I'd already been, working in the world of custom composition with, therapists and holistic business owners and all this stuff, and I wanted to figure out a way to make it more accessible to more people. So that was really the initial impetus of Primordial. But what it is a music therapy software that allows people to use music that is high level, effective for nervous system regulation and all sorts of other transformations that we will share later, in a personal manner or in a professional manner. So the software license is set up where you can just use it at home, or if you run a professional practice, we have several different options for that too. And yeah, it's really just about bringing really high quality, high fidelity, very intentionally made therapeutic music to the community to make it very accessible.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I think Primordial is the creator. What do you think Primordial is?
I think Primordial is the way. Primordial to me, I don't know, it's special. It's something that really allows this type of healing and this type of music therapy to, like you said, just become much more accessible to, anyone in any place at any time. Where a lot of times for music therapy, obviously, you can go on YouTube, you can search up binaural beats, you can search up frequencies, you can go get a sound bath, but just with the heart and where it's coming from and the intention behind it and how the compositions are created and the purpose and the use cases and so many different levels and areas, it's just, I don't know, it's an all-encompassing beauty of what we've already known and what has been around for so long, but in this age, it just feels new, revolutionized, and yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think Primordial, the main difference is just the compositional piece. It's I really, really focus on I've been studying sound and somatic healing and trauma-informed therapy and all those things for a very long time. I've been in the wellness, working in wellness for over 15 years of my life, and for a large part of that I've been studying frequency and studying music, and my music career started from a sound healing perspective. I wasn't doing anything else with music before that. It's always been that, and my artist, I don't know, inquiry has always been I wanted to make sound healing music that slapped. I was Not throwing shade on anybody anywhere, but like I was a little underwhelmed by what I saw out there, like as sound healing, and as someone who's been a dancer and a mover my whole life, I know that like sound is healing in a multitude of dimensions, and it's not all about like ambience, and it's not all about drone, and it's definitely not about like piercing frequencies and like melody, emotiveness, like that really makes the music relatable, and like I really try to bring that through in the compositions. There are some things, especially in the vibroacoustic realm, that are a little bit more tonal, but for the most part it's like music that's just been like intentionally designed to guide the nervous system someplace good, because we all need that. So if you're feeling interested, visit primordial.pro and start a 7-day trial, and don't take our word for it.
Try it out. Yeah.
And I'll also this is the origin episode, we're setting the tone. At times we may introduce and share little snippets of the sound, sometimes maybe, but not often, because because the internet is wild as fuck, and these creations are very special, and like the people who are engaging in a good way with this container are doing so intentionally, and it is not at all in my desire to just put this stuff out there on the internet loosey-goosey style, because it's one thing to call something sleep music because it's tonal and ambient, and it's kind of more placebo. That's one thing, and that's what YouTube is really good for, and it's a whole nother thing to take someone actually into the delta brainwave state, and that shouldn't just be readily accessible, could pop up randomly while you're driving or doing something where you should not be getting sleepy. So it's intentional in that way, and also just to honor the craft and honor the compositions and not expose them to the piracy.
Yeah, the piracy, the sea of information that can be easily obtained at any point in time.
Yeah. So if you want to check it out, you gotta try the 7-day trial.
We want you to experience it.
Yeah, intentionally.
Intentionally in the way that you choose to. So it's very important and meaningful for us that you do.
Yeah. All right, well, moving right along. Let's talk about the primordial mission.
What we're sailing out to do, what we already are accomplishing and are doing every single day.
Yeah.
The mission. The mission is really just healing for all. To really educate people on really what nervous system regulation is, in a world and in a place where we're dysregulated consistently, and our vibrations are just thrown off and mixed in with so many different variables, the news and things that are out of our control a lot of times. Our mission really is just to bring that awareness and that
a place of peace, a place where you can tune that noise out and tune back into yourself, and tune into yourself through the lens of harmony, because when you harmonize within, everything starts to be harmonic around you. And so for me, the mission with Primordial, and this is something Isaac and I talk about a lot, is we see Primordial having the ability to create these sound sanctuaries all over the world, because anyone who has a Primordial license is encouraged to use that to create and engage and make community spaces, to either do sound baths with the music, use it in the background with your organic instruments, use it in therapy spaces, use it in yoga, use it in spas. We even have a level where we set you up to be a vibroacoustic therapy provider. So we deploy the software not only just for these personal transformations, but for people to be empowered to provide transformations to their community, because everybody resonates and relates to a different type of energy. And so the more hands we can get the license in, the more regulated nervous systems there can be all over the world. There are more like places to like ground and come back to center and come back to yourself and to know like just that direction of where you're trying to go. And so that's really our mission, is just to like spread that and to make that accessible. And it's like, so I know so many people who want to share, who want to engage and be like a vessel for healing and for peace to happen in their community, but haven't been given the resources or the path to dedicate 15 years of their life to know how to create this work at this level. And so it's like, because it's already done for you, it's very much like all you have to do is engage with our library, engage with the Sound Academy, like read the descriptions, and you can provide these empowering epic experiences to your community. And I love that like a grandma could get a license to Primordial and like have like, you know, people come and have soup and a blanket and like get some good sound healing, like down from that to like a freaking clinical wellness center, right? So expansive accessibility to something that is good, that is solid, that is transparent and effective.
Yes.
So yeah,
spreading the love, spreading the frequencies.
Yeah, and so we've already kind of started to share a little bit, but I want everybody to know us a little bit more, because, you know, we're going to be here with you. We're your host. So, yeah, I just want to share a little bit about our journeys of like what brought us into sound, what you felt like before you started to engage with sound in this way. Like, you know, when did it start to get when did it get good? And then also like, how does Primordial now like play and shape into your that?
I think before all of this, I mean, obviously music, a huge part of my life just in general, but my very first sound bath done by Rob in Ann Arbor, thank you, Rob, it just, man, it was amazing. It changed me, it changed my life. I took it upon myself to go after experiencing just some intense transformation and transmutation in my life. And that was the first exposure to real like sound healing in that way, where it just overtook me. And from that point on, I was just like, well, I want to do this. Like, how can I be a part of this? Like, it resonated with me so intensely and so immensely that it was just important for me to just go and look for classes and, you know, just try to get my foot in the door with that, and bring the same sort of peace and relaxation and regulation that I felt to anyone, you know. And so from that point on, just fast forwarding into taking the classes and going to Ohio to get my certification and meeting amazing people and, you know, joining that community, which is so widespread all over the world, all over these states, like, you know, that it led me here to this point. And that is what I just call alignment. Like, that is, you know, it couldn't get any better. And so now with Primordial, you know, taking it from the singing bowls to the compositions and then now the mixes and all of it, like, it's happened so quickly that to me that tells me I am on the right path and this is exactly where I need to be. And this is what I've called in, you know, to the highest degree, and I get to be a part of it. So yeah, once again, thank you, Rob. Thank you to all the sound healers out there and those, you know, doing the sound baths and doing your due diligence in your work for others, and changing lives like mine has been changed. So very important. How about yourself? I mean, 15 years.
15 years of like being in it, and I'm trying to like remember like when did I like discover sound healing. I'm like life is weird. I think one of my first experiences with sound healing was I went to Columbia College in Chicago, and there was this class, and it was only one section of this class offered once per year. So it was like nobody got to take it until they were a senior. because it was like, seniors get to register first, right? Yeah. And so I finally got in this class. It was called Mystical Consciousness, and shout out to, like, I've had several teachers in my life named Dr. Bill, but the first Dr. Bill, shout out to you, back in Chicago, and we, like, he just had this little Tibetan singing bowl, and we would do like just mindfulness and breath work and meditations, and he would just ring it at the beginning and end, and that was like my first experience, was just like this piercing resonance of like clarity. And then I started to, I'm from Chicago, so there's tchotchke shops everywhere with the incense and the things and the stuff, So I started to like get those and like use those in my, because my undergrad is in dance making, so I started to use those in my creative process with my dancers, and open and close dance rehearsals with the sound bowls, and just start to see how those frequencies were changing the way that our bodies were engaging with each other and with ourselves. And that was kind of like how I really first started to get into it. And then I had a friend who had a wellness space called Urban Oasis. I think it might still be there in Chicago, and he had a set of 12 crystal singing bowls. And I had just kind of started to open my voice. My voice was very closed most of my life. That's why I was a dancer first. But I started to have these types of awakenings in my voice. And so my first experiences of singing was toning and harmonizing and matching with crystal singing bowls. And so anyone who's heard my voice, like, it sounds, a lot of times, like, my voice sounds like a crystal singing bowl. And it's because that's literally, like, the first instrument that I was sung with. Like, that's what taught me. So it's, like, literally, like, right there like that. So I just kind of got really caught up in it. And I feel like I was already caught up in this love relationship with sound by, like, pursuing dance my whole life. But there was always, like, this part of me that felt like the songs and things that other people were making for me to use to dance with wasn't quite what I wanted to engage with. So as I started to lean more into sound, it just made sense to continue to engage until I could create, and then create until I could, like, really fully express myself with the full on being a composer and producer and making these things that I've been hearing in my head. And, like, just, musicians out there listening will know, you kind of, like, get a sound, like, it, like, courts you, and then you chase after it until you can, like, fully bring it down. Yeah, and I hope some people out here watching, like, have been following that journey. Like, my first album, I, like, heard about 432 hertz and, like, the earth frequencies and things like that, and that frequency really resonated with me. And so I just made my whole album, like, I wrote it in that tuning, and now I use so many tunings. Like, that's something we'll talk about later. We'll just go into that, like, tunings. Like, there's just so much out there. But that was, like, really important to me in the album, watching what it did to people, like, on the dance floor, and just how they engaged totally differently with themselves. Like, it was really beautiful and magical. So yeah, like, sound healing has been, like, a part of my career. Like, it's, like, been my career with music, the mission, music that is healing and also slaps. It's, like, always been the mission. And I think because of that, I started to attract people who were looking for something more. They were looking for compositions that could really meet specific therapeutic needs. And so I got into the world of custom composition for music for therapy. And I think because I had the unique intersection of having a background in somatic healing and teaching people how to heal that way, mentoring tons and tons of people in, like, authentic expression, transformation in that way, healing my own trauma, helping all my clients heal their trauma, because if you're blocked from authentic expression, it's likely there's something traumatizing that happened in your past. That's why that is. And then, like, bringing all that, and then as, like, when I came into music, I was just already fascinated with frequency and frequency science, and, like, I just from the beginning was studying that, and I knew that you could heal through vibration. I just knew it, and I just stayed really, really engaged with that the whole time, and like with that and how I like approached using what I was creating to heal myself. And that's something I will rant probably about later, but it's so important that when people are offering something that they have engaged with it in a transformational way themselves. Because if not, then it's not like really rooted in anything. It's all theory, and theory is not the magic of healing. Like, healing is something that is experienced. And so I think like just by having that intersection, I started to just naturally create compositions that really went deep, and people started to hear that and feel that in what I was making, and act specifically for that. But you know, just composing a few pieces for a couple therapists here or there, for a couple holistic brands here or there, like I just didn't feel that it was giving enough. It felt too exclusive, and I was like, man, like there's only like a handful of people that are getting to engage with this. It's also way too potent to put on Spotify, and like
just let it be out there.
Yeah, like I was like, I need to figure out a different way, like a way that is like both sacred and honoring and contained and safe. Like the space itself
safe
needed to be safe for me first, and then therefore, because it's safe for me, I can create safety for others. But the way that music is released in the distribution channels and mainstream energy is just not the container for what is being created in Primordial. So yeah, so that's a little bit of bio and a lot of bit of rant, but we're gonna move on.
It's important. It's important, the background, because this entire company, this entire like movement, everything that's being created, you know, it came from all of that, and so, you know, it's extremely important. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, well, so nervous system regulation being the main focus, like, why is that the main focus? Why is that so important?
Well, you know, I think I was saying earlier about how, like, I personally believe that the people who are most equipped to help us heal things are people who have healed those things themselves. And I've always been a very sensitive person, and I have lived through some pretty intense harshness on this planet. And I've had 3 nervous breakdowns in my life. The first one, I was like, however old you are when you go from 8th grade to freshman year of high school. Was that like 13?
13. Yeah, like 13 going into 14.
So like I had my first nervous breakdown at 13 years old, guys. Like,
dang. Tough life.
That's wild, right?
Yeah,
like,
actually.
That's literally wild. It's like, I remember just like going to the public library to take the library picture, and I was like shaking and trying not to cry, and I just start crying randomly and was like, wait, sorry. And like had to like reset, and it was like, because my system just basically broke down, because like we were living in the city, and then I had like this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air incident where I was like valedictorian of 8th grade, and then I got jumped by like 6 girls because I was smart. Like,
they're like, they ain't happening here.
Exactly. Like, now how dare you? So then like straight Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I got one little fight, and my mom got scared. I said, you're moving with your auntie, uncle, and Waukegan. But she moved too. It wasn't with, but my auntie was living out there. Anyways, tangent. But okay, so I get there, and it's the burbs, right? And I'm coming from inner city life, and it's my first time experiencing silence. Like I didn't even know what crickets sound like or anything like that before this moment, and my nervous system just went kaput, and like all of this pent up energy that I have been carrying since forever, since like kindergarten, was just like needing to come out. And so I didn't really have many tools. That kind of just happened that time. But then I had another nervous breakdown in college, like right after my grandmother passed, because I was just like going to school full-time, working a part-time job, doing a part-time internship, and like choreographing and performing in a professional dance company, like sleeping like 2 hours a night, like just like bad, like way too much espresso, quadrupios, like, you know, like just bad, like overdoing everything. And so my nervous system went kaput again. Then life continues, and I'm like in my mid-20s, and I'm making my first like really big entrepreneurial moves, and I got introduced to the dark side of angel investors and all the pressures that can be in that realm, which is why I'm glad I got that experience, because I did not design this company to be in those realms because of that. But that made my nervous system break down again. And that breakdown, that was like the breakdown to transcend into the breakthrough. And I was just like so shattered that time that I wasn't able to like patch it up like I could in the past and like function, even though I thought I could. But you know, I don't have a trust fund or anything, so I had to keep going as an artist. So I started to get really interested in like getting better at making my therapeutic compositions treat that feeling, like treat that like literal discomfort on a somatic nervous system level, that like fear that is like so pervasive that it actually starts to manifest itself in your reality. Those like thought forms that are so just like destructive, that if they are allowed to go on too long, they lead to physical illness, they lead to all these things. And you know, I like needed to create it. I needed it. And you know, like I didn't have a really big support system at that point in my life. I'm one of those people, I've been traveling since I was so young. I've got soul family homies all over, but like I'm not always with those people. And this was before us, this was before a lot of things. And so sometimes you need a hug and there's nobody there to hug you.
Create that for yourself, that safety for yourself, like whatever it takes. And that was that. Yeah,
and that was what was coming through in the music for me. And that's really what like started to lead to other people being attracted to that. So when we when Isaac and I sat down to start creating Primordial, you know, it's like there's a ton of music streaming platforms, there's meditation softwares, there's all of these different tools out there that are similar. And I was just like, but what I really want to focus on is nervous system regulation. And because nervous system regulation doesn't just mean calming down. It doesn't just mean meditating or going into like a stillness. Because if you are having a like traumatic, like a PTSD response and you're in a freeze or fawning, you actually might need like a house track. You might need some like BPM. So like there is just like all sorts of types of compositions on Primordial to support those things, because I know what it feels like to not want to get out of bed in the morning and need that motivation. I also know what it feels like to be so triggered and dysregulated that you need like a big dose of calm and like all that types of stuff. So it's created from, you know, I feel that, and I see deeply in society the effects of it, like stress being the number one cause of most illnesses. That's nervous system dysregulation. All of these different terminal illnesses, when you trace them back to their sources, they trace back to a dysregulated nervous system, which traces back to some sort of trauma that's happened somewhere in the lineage. Not even just, it doesn't have to have been you, it could have been an ancestor and you're carrying it. And those things lead, and they like, the more they go unaddressed, they just densify and become these diseases. So I was like, if I could help people in any way, it would be that way, nervous system. Yeah. But yeah, so let's talk about like the day-to-day use. Like, how do you use the software?
As soon as I wake up. I mean, I use it from, honestly, the moment I wake up, like, and I kind of go into my routine, and, you know, if I have time to sit down and breathe and meditate, you know, I'll put on a binaural beat to just get my brain entrained into, you know, an alpha state to get me focused and ready for the day. Or like it's just playing, you know, getting me ready, and I know it's affecting me, and I know it's like creating this space for me to be able to like center myself and prepare, you know, for whatever it is to come. And yeah, I mean, I use it, you know, in the middle of the day, you know, after someone's cut me off or something. I'm like, crap, I need to put this on. Like, I need to come back. Like, I'm about to get to another customer's house. I need to, like,
that's interesting.
breathe. Yeah.
So you use it between moments at work.
Yeah, between moments. I'm getting better at it. I mean, previously it's like I can't take my bowls everywhere to be able to just like ding when something happens, or like bring this giant bowl out and then spin it like, all right, I feel better, and then go about my day.
I've done that before. You look crazy.
And I've done it too.
People be like, what are you? It's like, you don't understand. I need this.
So, yeah, I mean, I use it, and I find myself using it more and more, just like daily, you know, like when I go to sleep, if I know that like I'm working on something, or I'm not cooking till late and I'm just not ready to go to sleep, and I'm like, cool, I mean, I could just stay up and watch YouTube videos and doom scroll until I get tired, or I could like lay down and put on a delta wave track and then be out and have like the best sleep ever, and wake up like, wow, all right, time to put on this alpha wave track and kind of just do it again. And so it's just become like a huge part of my practice, as far as like replacing not just breathing, but like intersecting those two things or multiple things all in one, to where I can be like, okay, cool, yeah, I need to take some deep breaths, or all right, I'm about to shift over from writing to video editing. Cool, let me put on this gamma wave. Like, all right, time to get creative, you know, like it's useful for just about anything, you know. So,
yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I use it like that. Yeah, I'd be like making it half the time, but
like making a theta wave, and you're like,
dude, that's like,
oh my god.
Like when I first started composing like that, like, I mean, it's gotten a lot better. I feel like I've like gotten some tricks and got tolerance, but like making delta, making sleep music, like you'd be like falling asleep like while you're doing it, like, whoa, because like, I don't know, but side tangent. But I also do use it, and I like to go to, you know, I do a lot of therapies, like, that's my thing. Self-care is my way. Like, that's, to me, is the way to maintain your youth. It's the way to avoid giant medical bills, and I'm just stubborn like that. Like, I'm just like, if I can take care of it naturally, I'm going to, even if it's harder. And so I like to use the delta waves when I do the hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Like, feels like my body becomes molecules, and I'm just like floating in the molecule soup and getting the oxygen. And I love going to the Korean bathhouse.
The Korean bathhouse.
Like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm on one. I'm high strung, and so high strung. It's true. I mean, you know, I'll be like, goals, time, things need to be efficient. Like, so when I go in the spa, like, as I start to relax, sometimes that like part of my brain that like is calculating has a very hard time to turn
slowing
off.
Down.
Yeah, so I have this whole rhythm that I've built out for myself, where I'll start on the restorative playlist and like let some of that busyness come out on the tracks that are not like brainwave at all, and then I'll like get a little bit of theta from there, and then I'll move to the delta, and I'll pretty much just like kick it on the delta playlist the rest of the time I'm in the spa, because
you do delta in the spa?
Oh heck yeah, because it's me.
Yeah. I got you.
It's like, if I'm gonna
different
like,
for different people. Got you.
If I'm gonna actually lay down and like take a nap and rest in the crystal room, I need that delta. Like, I have to be in that state to really turn my mind off, so that my like intuition and like just whatever I need to feel like can come and move through me, because I'm a Capricorn, so I'd be like, okay, when is the right time to like be with my emotions, because I can't just be with my emotions all the time. Like, that's just real. That's just not who I am. I be getting stuff done, and sometimes that's not where my brain is. So, like, when I go into the spa and I put the Delta on, it bypasses all of the energy that would prevent that. Because theta is also very creatively stimulating for someone who has, like, super intellectually leaning brain. Like, you might need to, like, go beyond theta. And I know some of you guys don't even know what we're talking about, so we're gonna probably put up here somewhere a brainwave chart you can read, talk about those things on another episode, more foreshadowing. Can't give it all away.
Yeah,
but
Chauncey, when you're editing this, put up the brainwave entrainment states so they know.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Let's see, I got my notes here. But yeah, and like one of the other ways, like, we have the Primordial Oasis, we have our Vibroacoustic Therapy Wellness Center, and that's a huge way I engage with our software, is through that. Because, yeah, I've been on a journey healing uterine fibroids naturally, and the Vibroacoustic therapy has been a huge tool for me to keep the inflammation down, and to also just literally change how I relate to the world. Because, like I said, I'm high-strung. So I had to learn how to not take everything in and take everything so seriously, and how to, like, feel actual safety in my body. Because when you have, like, this is the thing that I think, like, a lot of that misses the mark in talk therapy a lot. It's like, you can't just tell somebody they're safe now.
Right.
You can't just be like, it's over though, like, you're safe now.
Right.
That doesn't
Your body doesn't
like, your
know
body
that.
is like, yeah, whatever. Like, what, like, and what does that mean? And what does that feel like? And so through the vibroacoustic therapy and, like, getting my body actually like fully into those deep restorative states, those deep safe spaces, so much tension and just, like, false perception has been able to leave my system, which is, like, just allowing all these different healings and transformations to happen, and maintenance. Like, I remember my first attempt at managing companies was super stressful, and, like, being, like, trying to lead a bunch of people and get everybody to be on board and put out the fires and all that stuff, like, can make you a psychopath. Like, you can become a really, like, intense version of yourself. And I just love, like, because Primordial is what it is, and, like, we are this nervous system regulation company, it's so peaceful, like, the dynamic between everybody and how we handle problems, and just, like, natural. How I feel as, like, the kind of, like, mother steward of it is, like, totally different than in my other realms. But yeah, so
the vibroacoustic therapy it's a whole another piece. That's a game changer. It's a life changer. It's one thing to plug in some headphones or through the speaker and listen to these sounds and listen to these frequencies. It's a whole nother just area of healing for your body to receive it and those frequencies directly in that way from a vibroacoustic device, and so I know having the bed, when we had it here before we moved it to the Oasis, that was my slice of cake every day. That was my routine, was getting on the vibroacoustic bed and being like, but I know. But it's a game changer. I mean, it's like, it's unlike anything else. You take one of those massage chairs, after you get done working out, or you sit in the mall, right, and you just dial that up to 20 plus, like, and it's just,
That sounds painful.
No, I mean, like, as far as the relaxation piece, not like the...
I don't like this mechanical massage.
But, like the relaxation
chairs.
Piece,
I'd be like, ow! Because, like, especially the kneading...
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, when you get it just right.
It's because I'm bony. I just, like, that's why. But I'd be like, ow. But yeah, the vibroacoustic therapy is the truth, for real.
Yeah.
And what I love is watching the client transformations. Because as a creator, I'm the type of creator where I'm like, if something works for me and I made it, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it works. I need to see it work on others. Because, yeah, like, I'm just too much of a critical thinker. I guess I'll just put it that way. But watching people, like, literally change before my eyes, watching people have chronic pain leave their body that's been there their whole, like, for years or their whole life, watching people, like, become strong and, like, overcome their version of, like, complex post-traumatic stress, like, watching people become more peaceful, more joyful, like just more themselves, like meeting a person for who they really are, instead of the pain body of who they are, is just been so profound. Like, I love that so much. And I get messages from the other practitioners that have sessions going places, and they share their testimonies.
The testimonials are beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's just it's so cool to see. Yeah, just so much like long-term trauma being like nipped in the bud, and people being given an opportunity to live their life in a new way, which is just like, it's like giving someone wings. Yeah I love that.
Opening a new door, it's exposing them to something that they've never thought that they would experience or be able to let go of or heal or release. Like that is huge. It's monumental.
And then like hearing like some people, you know, who have experienced vibroacoustic therapy in other places, hearing them like resonate with this and being like, oh, like, because some people have tonal sensitivity, like some people don't like drones, and like high-pitched frequencies can be very triggering to certain types of nervous systems. And it's like, so if that's the only experience one has been given with vibroacoustic therapy, you know, then they may think that it's not for them. The perception, right? But the way like the musical compositions flow through the bodies, and like having people who are like, I didn't think I liked sound healing, but this is awesome.
This slaps.
This slaps.
Thank you. That's what I intended.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
So, you know, we've been talking all about this stuff, and talking about it is one thing, but we believe in the Feel It formula. So if you're in Colorado, stop by the Primordial Oasis. We're in the Santa Fe Arts District in Denver. You can go to our website, primordial.pro/oasis, to book a session. If you are not around that area, go to our locations page and see the other areas where we have vibroacoustic therapy providers, official Primordial providers. We have the Institute for Ageless Living up in Longmont, launching in June. We have Psychic Sister in Portland, already active. You can get sessions there. We have the Institute for Public Scholarship up in Michigan, in Kalamazoo.
Shout out to my Michigan people.
Yeah, shout out to Collect and Recover Wellness. They have a beautiful space with our collection there. So there's places around, and more locations are being added all the time. So whenever, depending on when you see this episode, there may be even more locations where you can check it out. And and on our website you can also learn about how you can get this to your community, how you can get the official Primordial vibroacoustic therapy equipment and the software license and all the other tools that we have, so that you can make this accessible for yourself and for your people. Yeah.